Good morning, guys. This is a beautiful Thursday morning, and welcome to my channel. This is Jordan Reyes. So pretty much, guys, I just really want to talk about today. What do you guys think about the whole trucking industry and whatnot? But pretty much, I'm driving right now, guys. I'm over here in the Port of Houston. So a little background about me, guys. So my name is Jordan Reyes. I'm 26 years old currently. My birthday is February 2nd, 1996. And I am a truck driver, and I drive regional for a company called Packard. And pretty much I've been driving for about a little bit over a year now. Maybe about a year and 2 months now. But I think the trucking industry is great. It's a great way for people to start, but you guys don't get the opportunity, especially new drivers, to experience what trucking really is. And by that, I mean, for example, you guys, the new drivers specifically, don't understand like how companies make money, where to get assigned for a new company, how to get started for a new company, and basically just build your way up. And I understand that sometimes big companies will not give you like the opportunity, as I get okay. What I'm trying to say is that big companies like mega carriers will give you the opportunity that smaller companies won't. But the smaller companies is kind of where the money's at in a sense, because they pay a lot more for drivers. Now, for me personally, I've driven with semi trucks. I've only driven like percentage loads. So with that being said, it's like I get a percentage of every load that I do. Right now, currently where I'm at, I get paid 28%. Now, to you guys, you might think that that's not a lot. It might be a little bit, whatever the case might be. But the loads that I work, they pay pretty well, especially in the time that I hopped in and I started working. It's actually really, really, really good. Because on a good week, I will probably make like $2,000. On an okay week, let's say a pretty decent week, is like $1,500. And me personally, I think that's pretty good, especially coming from somebody that before this, I was working a whole warehouse job. Before I started trucking, I was working at a warehouse job, which I was only making $700 an hour. And now I almost make double that. So that's pretty amazing to me, right? And the way I got started, guys, and I'm gonna give you guys some good advice on this, whether you guys want to run with it or whatever, I don't care. But the way I got started, I actually knew a guy that was actually a truck driver. And this is one thing that I preach to a lot of people, is that you guys should really start trying to make connections, build relationships with people, whether, I don't know, whatever industry you're in, whether it's trucking or real estate or whatever. Just start meeting connections, start talking to people, start associating yourself with people and figuring out where you can possibly move in your life. So for example, if you want to be a real estate agent, make friends with some real estate agents. You know, you want to be a trucker, make friends with some truckers, start talking to truckers, get in like Facebook trucking groups, whatever the case might be, right? But like in my case, I just happen to know this guy. He was a trucker. His name is Cuba. Shout out to him, because he's the one who started this whole thing for me, right? And we would actually know Cuba for being, you know, home on weekends, right? At the time I didn't actually know what he did, and everybody would just know that he had a lot of money, or he was making good money at whatever he was doing. So one day I just asked him like, hey Cuba, like what do you do for a living, you know? And he told me like, oh, he drives trucks, like semi trucks. Like, what? And I was like, I never knew that semi truck drivers make a lot of money. So that's when I was like, oh man, maybe you can put me on. I want to try and drive and this and that. And he kind of pointed me towards the right direction to where I could get my CDL. And so I think I ended up paying for that school was like $400 or something like that, right? And yeah, so I ended up paying like $400, whatever, getting, you know, the little the CDL and stuff like that, which I didn't ultimately pay $400. it got into a mix up. That's for another time. But pretty much, I got my CDL, and I told him, I was like, hey, I got my CDL, Kubo, you think you can still get me into where you're at and this and that? And he was like, yeah, man, I could definitely do that. So one thing led to another, and I'm here working for the company that, you know, my friend Kubo was working for. But yeah, that's how I pretty much got in, and this is what that I'm advise you guys. If you guys go to truck stops, you know, go talk to other truck drivers, go talk to, I would say, like, you know, truck repair shops, anywhere you can see trucks, semi trucks just lined up, go out there, bro. Go to the yards, go ask them, like, hey, I was wondering, you know, what company do you work for? Maybe you can give me a job. I only have this amount of experience. And be honest with them, guys. I think honesty is key. Whether you have 1 year of experience, 2 years of experience, 10 years of experience, be honest, you know? If you know how to do something, don't try and lie and say that you know how to haul whatever, the low boys, you know how to do heavy haulers, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's gonna come to light eventually, and it's gonna make you look pretty dumb, I think, right? So if you only have like 6 months of experience, 2 months of experience, then just tell them that, like, hey, I only have 2 months of experience. Here's the thing you guys gotta know. 9 out of 10 people are gonna basically not be interested in you. They're not even gonna look towards your way. Once you tell them your experience level, they're probably not even gonna look at you. But the thing is, even if you have one person just interested, slightly interested in you, make the situation a little bit better. Be like, in my case, I told my boss, I was like, hey, look, I don't know how to drive semi trucks. I'm currently learning how to drive a 10-speed, but I know how to drive hot shots. So I kind of know the idea of maneuvering a truck and trailer. Even though hot shots and semi trucks is way completely different, but it kind of gets me in that mindset. Whoa, like, you know, and if I don't know something, I'm definitely willing to learn. I'm willing to put my 100% effort to learn. So that's how you would try and, like, I guess, try to secure a job. But like I said, look for a job, something like that. And even before that, start looking for a job, meet truckers, talk to truckers, make friends with truckers, join Facebook market groups, like, you know, the Facebook groups or whatever. And just learn, make connections, like I said, and just sweeten your deal. Make a resume in your head, where sometimes you have to think of, like, how you can get ahead. For example, if they tell you, like, oh, what do you know? Like, how do you, like, for example, me, I said, I know how to maneuver a truck and trailer because I drove hot shots, and at the time I was hauling like 40-foot containers with I think it was a curb belt trailer with a gooseneck. And they kind of, like, I guess at that time they were like, oh, he kind of knows what he's doing, you know, a little bit, you know, but yeah. And eventually one thing led to another, and I got the job here. But that's how I feel like you guys should look. Oh, another important thing, the pay rate. I think you guys need to look for something that's more of a percentage load than $1 per mile or whatever the case might be. Because, look, if you get a percentage of the load, think about this. I learned this through that hotshot company. I was getting paid $1 per mile, which that rate is mind-blowing, right? It's a good rate. But I would only haul containers, like, and if anything, on a good day, around 200 miles-ish, loaded miles, right? So that would mean $200 being loaded. So, but I would have to go to, like, drive an hour to pick up the container, stay there in traffic, possibly wait another hour to get loaded, then start driving, and that's when I actually started getting paid. But the load itself, the container and the load and everything, it paid like $5,000, guys. Like $5,000 to $6,000. That's how much the company was making, and I was only getting like $200, $300 at the time, which to me that didn't make no sense, right? Why would I get paid $1 per mile? If it only makes sense, it would be good if they paid $1 per mile no matter what it was, loaded or empty. That rate I think will be okay. But percentage load, I think it's a lot better. Whether it's 28 in my case, I heard some people get paid 35%. I heard some people get paid 30%. It doesn't matter. I think percentage loads, even around that, I think 25 and up should be a pretty good rate for you guys, especially if you're starting off like I did. And I think I'm only giving you this because of my experience, guys. I'm not trying to like pressure you guys or anything, but I think that was gonna be the best way to get paid, especially if you have no experience, you have no idea what you're doing, especially if you're trying to get in this industry. Definitely watch some YouTube videos, maybe look at some people's experience like me. But I guess, guys, that's pretty much the only thought process that I had. Like, how did I land this job, and what are my thought process on like new guys looking for new jobs? Because I have a lot of friends that are into trucking, and they ask me for my opinion, and it's a question that comes up very, very often. So with that being said, guys, I guess that's it, and I'll see you guys in another video, I guess.